our next speaker, we're going to go to Southern Maryland, and we're going to go to Calvert County, where we will get to listen to Alexea Wentz. Alexea has kind of entered the athlete leadership program in the last year since we kind of went virtual, and we are so excited to have her. High energy, lots of really good perspectives and thoughts, and I'm sure that her speech tonight will be equally thoughtful. So, Alexea.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alexea. Anyone who is 15 years and 9 months old can get their learner's permit. Depending on the severity of the disability, some people cannot drive. For me, things were different. I always debated whether to get my learners or to wait to get my learners. I got my learner's permit a few years ago. When my friends at the age of 15 and 16 got their learners, I was pretty sad because I watched them go out and hang out with other people and do other things. I didn't get to hang out with my friends and do other things. I had to wait for my parents to pick me up and drive me off to where I needed to be. The first time I took my learner's permit test, I didn't really study, which was probably a terrible idea. So going in to take the test, I was pretty nervous. I didn't pass my test the first time, but that's okay. I cried but didn't give up. I had to wait a week to come back and retake my test. So after failing the first time, I studied incredibly hard to pass the second time. I was a nervous wreck. The second time taking my test, I was super nervous because I wanted to pass, but I took it one question at a time and passed the second time. The second time, I only got 2 questions wrong. Driving is scary, and I'm very nervous to drive. My uncle owns an automotive shop, and it's a family business, so my mom and dad work there too. I see accidents that they tow when I stop by to visit my parents at work. Also, I see accidents when I'm in the car just driving around to places I need to go. Seeing those accidents makes me worried something will happen. Nowadays, people cut in front of you or swerve or drink and drive, and it's not safe being on the road when people do that. I have a learning disability and have a hard time learning new things. And learning to drive a car is something really big to learn, and it was hard for me to learn the skills and techniques of driving. I also have a hard time focusing and get distracted easily. It takes a lot of practice. When I got my learners, I just drove on the back roads to get to my house. That's where I drove for the most part because Route 4 is crazy and has a lot of cars around, and I wasn't ready. I didn't start on Route 4 because I had no experience of driving, so taking a smaller route to drive will help me gain more confidence and learn the proper skills to drive. A few years ago, I had gotten a car for Christmas, but I've only driven it a few times. After 2 years of having my learners, I had my dad and my granddad take me on Route 4, and I was a nervous wreck, but didn't give up, but wanted to give up. There was a lot of cars on Route 4, and I didn't necessarily go the speed limit as those on the road. It was a new road and a new step for me to take. Then getting driving time was hard because we were always so busy. Not having much time to drive limited my experience and practice. If I don't have enough practice on Route 4, then I won't be able to be confident and know what it is like to drive on Route 4. 2 years later, unfortunately, my learners expired. I was going to get a new learners on February 26, 2021. But then I decided not to and wait another extra week to keep studying. Guess what? The pandemic hit and the DMV closed down and didn't open for several months. It opened in August and they were accepting appointments only. And everyone was scheduling and it was behind. I had to wait until October or November to get it. I studied pretty hard, went to my appointment and passed it, and got my learners for a second time. Still scared of driving, but having a little experience helped me when I needed to renew my learners since it expired. I have been on route for a few times with no stoplights because I'm afraid I'll run a red light. Still not very many driving times with my parents, but since my sister drives, she drives me places, which is okay. I want to drive on my own sometimes, and then other times I don't. I still have my learners. I keep practice driving to help me become confident with the skills and how to drive. Once that happens, then I can use the car I got for Christmas from my grandparents. I was successful in getting my learners and being brave enough to do it. I learned that it is okay to be brave and nervous, even if it's something you aren't comfortable doing. Thank you, everyone, for watching.